What ruins marriages faster than cheating? Let me say something that might shock you. Cheating is not what destroys most marriages. Yes, cheating hurts, it breaks trust, it shakes the foundation, but here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't want to hear. By the time cheating happens, the marriage has usually been dying for years. Affairs are often the smoke, not the fire. I've seen marriages where nobody cheated, but the love still died. No fights, no scandals, just distance, coldness, and two people living like strangers under the same roof. So if you think cheating is the worst thing that can happen to a marriage, stay with me, because what I'm about to share might change how you see relationships forever. And today, we're going to talk about the real fire, the quiet killers, the things couples do every single day that slowly suffocate love until there's nothing left but obligation, resentment, and emotional distance. If you're married, in a long-term relationship, or hoping to be one day, this conversation might save you years of pain. Let's talk about the real marriage killers. 1. Emotional neglect, the silent starvation. Here's the thing no one warns you about marriage. Love doesn't die from violence, it dies from silence. Emotional neglect is when two people live together, share a bed, share bills, share responsibilities, but stop sharing themselves. No more deep conversations, no more curiosity, no more, how are you really feeling? You stop being seen, you stop being heard, you stop being known. And at first, it doesn't feel dramatic, it feels small, but emotional starvation works slowly, quietly, like a plant dying from lack of water, not overnight, but inevitably. And when someone feels emotionally invisible long enough, they eventually start wondering if someone else might see them again. 2. Resentment that never gets spoken. Resentment is one of the most dangerous emotions in marriage because it grows in silence. It starts tiny. You feel unappreciated. You feel overwhelmed. You feel taken for granted. But instead of talking about it, you swallow it because you don't want conflict. You don't want drama. You don't want to seem needy. So you stay quiet, and resentment begins stacking like bricks. One brick for every time you felt unheard. One brick for every time you felt unsupported. One brick for every time you felt alone in a partnership. Years later, you look at your partner and feel irritated, disconnected, distant, and you don't even know why anymore because the resentment has become the relationship. And once resentment becomes your emotional default, intimacy starts dying fast. 3. Becoming roommates instead of lovers. This one hits so many marriages. The relationship slowly becomes a business partnership. You manage the house, you manage the kids, you manage the bills, you manage responsibilities, but you stop managing romance. No flirting, no playful energy, no sexual tension, no intentional connection. You become co-managers of life instead of lovers. And here's the truth many women quietly feel but rarely say out loud. You can live with someone and still feel completely alone. When romance disappears, emotional distance grows. When emotional distance grows, attraction fades. And when attraction fades, the relationship becomes a routine instead of a bond. And routine does not sustain passion. But there's another layer that accelerates the damage even more. 4. Feeling unappreciated and unseen. Most women don't leave because they stop loving their partner. They leave because they stop feeling valued. When effort becomes invisible, love begins to feel pointless. You cook, you care, you support, you hold the emotional weight of the relationship, and slowly the appreciation disappears. No thank you, no acknowledgement, no noticing. And when appreciation disappears, something dangerous happens. Your heart starts closing for protection. Because giving love that feels unnoticed becomes emotionally exhausting. And when your heart closes, intimacy struggles to survive, which leads to the next truth most people avoid. 5. Avoiding difficult conversations. Many couples think avoiding arguments keeps the peace. It doesn't. It keeps the distance. Healthy couples argue, they disagree, they confront uncomfortable truths, they repair and grow. Unhealthy couples avoid everything. They don't talk about sex, they don't talk about needs, they don't talk about dissatisfaction, they don't talk about loneliness. They keep the peace on the surface while the relationship slowly erodes underneath. Avoidance creates emotional distance faster than betrayal ever could, because betrayal hurts deeply, but avoidance makes people feel invisible, and invisibility kills love quietly. 6. Losing individual identity. Here's something mature women understand deeply. You cannot bring life to a relationship if you feel lifeless as a person. When someone loses their identity in marriage, everything changes. Your passions fade, your confidence drops, your spark disappears, and suddenly the relationship feels heavy, serious, draining. Not because love is gone, but because you feel gone. Healthy marriages are made of two whole individuals choosing each other, not two exhausted people clinging to routine. When personal growth stops, the relationship stops evolving too, and stagnation suffocates attraction. The truth no one likes hearing. Cheating may break a marriage overnight, but emotional neglect, resentment, distance, lack of appreciation, avoidance, and lost identity, they destroy it slowly, quietly, daily. And by the time cheating appears, it often feels like the symptom of a deeper sickness that's been ignored for years. The real lesson? Marriages don't collapse suddenly, they fade gradually, and the couples who survive long-term are not the ones who avoid problems, they are the ones who face them early. If this conversation resonated with you, subscribe to the channel for more real, raw conversations about love, sex, and long-term relationships. Give this video a thumbs up so it reaches more women who need to hear this. And in the comments, I want to hear from you. What do you believe ruins marriages the fastest? Your voice might help another woman feel understood today.